Good morning. It's True Mahan Bowen, your friendly neighborhood American Indian and lawyer, and I was hanging out with my lawyer friends, Mike Alder, Gina Zapata, the greatest legal duo in the entire world, except for me and my wife, of course. We're neck and neck. I'll leave it at that, neck and neck. And Gina brought to my attention an Atlantic article about national parks and American Indians, essentially that should the national parks be returned back to the American Indians? And of course, you know where my heart, right? Don't bury my heart at Wounded Knee. Bury my heart in the future where the American Indian lands are returned back to the Indians. Capitan. But of course, it wasn't originally called Capitan. It actually had lots of different American Indian names, Miwok names. One of the 7 tribes that lived in Yosemite, reportedly for at least 8,000 years, but probably longer, were the Miwok Indians. Who are the Miwok? They are one of the many California Indians that are still with us today and still doing things today and still absolutely a part of the California landscape. And if you want to know a little bit more about them and see at least what some of the coast Miwok look like, you can go to my episodes on the history of the Black Panther Party, because Indians inspired the Black Panthers. Bobby Seale and Huey Newton were absolutely inspired by the American Indians. And of course, I won't even get into Alcatraz, but I will cover that later. In any event, there they were, American Indians living peacefully, right, in one of the most beautiful places in the world. And then, yes, you guessed it, the gold rush. The mad drive for gold took hold of the government apparatus and a lot of people who wanted to get rich quick. And as a result, something called the Mariposa Battalion, right? And it's an old story, right? The government, in collusion with gold rush profiteers, worked to massacre, torture, rape, and steal this beautiful land from the people who actually live there. Total disregard of their rights. This is how the Miwok lived, right? You can kind of see the similarities in the design structure and whatever. They lived on acorns. They did controlled burns so that the oak trees would survive and live. There's the placard at Yosemite. You'll find Mariposa Road. It's named after this killer battalion. I want to thank Gina, I want to thank Mike, and I want to encourage all of us to own all of our history. It belongs to all of us.